Hello everybody and welcome to our Easter Sunday Club. Now this is twice in a row we've had a Sunday Club, but it's really important because we're telling you the story of what happened at Easter that we read about in the Bible, and it is the most important part, I think, of the whole Bible probably. It's a wonderful story. It's actually a hard to understand story, but it is over everything a wonderful celebration. So we're celebrating today. Look at my tree behind there. Do you see it with all the little Easter eggs on? And I hope you got a load of Easter eggs today. Did you?
I did you?
I got a few. I didn't get as many as Claire, but I got one or two and they were very nice. So listen, don't make yourselves ill today with Easter eggs, but I hope you'll have a great time and a lovely day. But anyway, let's move on with our story. So, because I've just been talking about Easter eggs, I thought that we should use some eggs to tell our story. I wonder if they're going to be brown eggs or white eggs. Shall we look and see? Oh, they are multicoloured eggs. And most of these eggs, I think, let's see. Oh, have things inside them. So they're surprise eggs, but they're eggs that are going to tell us the story that we're hearing about today. So Claire, would you start off with the yellow egg? And if you all watch what I'm doing, I'm going to give you a little clue about what might be in this egg. Are you ready? What noise is that? Who would make that noise?
A donkey?
Aha! Actually, not very much of a surprise if you think about it, because we had the donkey in last week's story. Do you remember? Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem, riding on a donkey. All the people were here and they were all cheering, "Jesus, we love you, save us, save us." Do you remember they all wanted Jesus to be their king? But actually, Jesus knew that he was not going to be their king. He had another plan, a big plan from God, and he knew actually that he was going to Jerusalem to die. Which makes no sense to you or to me. Why would somebody know they were going to go to die in Jerusalem and still go there? But Jesus was obedient. He knew this was God's desire. And he went to Jerusalem. And when he arrived at Jerusalem, the Bible tells us that indeed the chief priests arranged for Jesus to be arrested. They told the Romans who ruled Jerusalem all kinds of lies about Jesus. Things about Jesus that were horrible. And you and I know Jesus a bit now because we've heard all about him in our stories from the Bible. We know that there's nothing about Jesus that was horrible. He was a very, very good man. He was actually the Son of God. But the people, the leaders, did not want him to be king, and they knew the people wanted him to be king, so they had to get rid of him. And they decided to kill him. So Claire, would you just look at the next egg, please, the green one, and see what's inside there? Just put it on the table so everybody can see. What do we have here?
A cross and some nails.
Ooh, okay. So this is how the people in those times killed people that they thought were the most dangerous and the most awful criminals. Jesus wasn't dangerous or an awful criminal, but he still died this way. So they put him on a cross and they got nails and they put the nails, boom, 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 into his hands and his feet and left him there to die. What a horrible thing to do, especially to somebody who had never done anything to deserve that. And so Jesus stayed on the cross until he died, and then his followers, his friends, took him down from the cross, and let's see what happened next. So Claire, would you have a look in the blue egg and see what happened next in our story. What's that?
I think it's a bit of cloth.
A bit of cloth. Okay. So now the people put Jesus' body into the cloth and they wrapped it around Jesus' body, and one of his followers said, I have a tomb, a special place where Jesus can be buried in a garden. Here is the tomb. And he said, please use my tomb for the body of Jesus, who I love so much. So the people were terribly sad, and they took Jesus' body and they placed it inside the tomb. And now, Claire, can you have a look at the pink egg and see what happened next? What's that?
A rock.
A rock, okay. So then they got a rock, a really huge rock. No person could carry this rock themselves, but several of them got the rock and they put it right in front of the tomb entrance where the body of Jesus lay. And that happened on Good Friday. So Claire, could you look at the next egg please and see what's there? Oh, just a little mouse.
That's a person.
A little person, okay. Now the people who had killed Jesus remembered something very important. They remembered that when they were talking to Jesus, he had said to them, I will die, but 3 days later I will come back to life. And they didn't like that idea at all. They didn't want Jesus to come back to life. They wanted to kill him. So they decided that they had to do something about that. So they got 2 guards and placed the 2 guards right by the entrance to make sure nobody could get in or get out of the tomb. So let's look back at what we know so far about this story. Claire, would you start? What happened in the first part of the story?
Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey.
That's right. And then the people, the leaders and the Romans decided they wanted to kill Jesus and they put him on a cross. That's right. And then what happened?
The people took Jesus down from the cross and wrapped him in cloth.
That's right. And then they placed him in the tomb and they got a huge big stone and put it in front of the tomb. And that is what happened on Friday. And now, if you imagine this is the tomb where Jesus is, on Friday, Jesus' body lay in the tomb all day and all night. And that was the first day. On the second day, something happened. Can you remember what happened here, Claire?
Guards were placed in front of the entrance to the tomb.
That's right, to make sure that nobody could get into the tomb or out of the tomb. So Jesus' body stayed in the tomb on the second day. But the third day, an absolutely amazing thing happened. Can you look inside there? Jesus was no longer in the tomb. And here is what happened. On Sunday, Easter morning, a morning just like today, Easter Sunday, Mary, a very good friend of Jesus, wanted to walk in the garden and look at the tomb. She was so sad and missed her Jesus so much. But when she got there, she got such a surprise because the guards were no longer there. The huge stone had rolled right away. And look what was sitting on the stone. An angel who said to Mary, "Why are you looking for Jesus in the tomb? Don't you remember he said on the third day he would rise again and come alive? Jesus is not dead, he is alive, and he's no longer in the tomb. Mary looked inside and there was nobody there. Jesus was no longer in the tomb. So what a strange story at Easter time of God loving the world so much that he sent his son, Jesus, down to earth to teach us all and to show us the love of God, and that actually he loved us so much that he even went to die on a cross for us, for you, Claire, for you all, for me, to help us to know God, which sounds extraordinary. It's really hard for us to understand this, except of course for us it's hard because we always look at the small picture. But God looked at the big picture, and this, it seems, is the only way that it could be. So Claire, Jesus is here for all of us, and he is alive, which is amazing. And I know he's alive because he lives in my heart. So Claire, what does Jesus want from us, the people who love Jesus?
He wants us to believe in him and to follow him.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Claire. And I think he also wants us to trust in him, to know that he is there for us all the time. Whenever we call on him, we can tell him anything in our lives that upset us because he's alive, he cares, and he wants to be your friend, my friend, and your friend, Claire. So happy Easter, everybody. Have a wonderful time and look forward to seeing you sometime soon. Bye.